I thought I would start just by talking about the non-degree program. I know that Ms. Jin and Jeffrey are going to talk more about it, but the non-degree program, of course, as the name indicates, doesn't have a degree associated with it. But the courses are basically the exact same courses. It's the same content that we would teach in the first year of law school in the JD program. It's those core courses that are tested twice on the bar exam. It's in-person instruction, and our students then are eligible with their first degree in law, typically from a university in Korea, for taking that bar exam. Of course, you have to do more. You have to go through character and fitness as well, but this is the U.S. legal education requirement. I wanted to just briefly mention another opportunity we have, which is that if you weren't interested in getting a degree, we have an online LLM degree. So you could do, of course, both of these programs without ever leaving Korea. And with the online degree, you get the same degree. It's a master's degree. There's nothing on the degree that actually says it's online or anything like that, but it's fully online. And it's if you take the non-degree program, we try to make it so it's an affordable option for you to get a degree, in that 10 credits from the non-degree program will transfer into the LLM, so you'll only need to take 20 credits. And for anyone who's done the non-degree, we give a guaranteed scholarship so that the total cost of the degree is about $10,000. So if you want to get the degree, I think that's a great option for you. A number of our students in Korea either have done that or in the process of getting that degree. So I'm going to shift gears now and just talk about the non-degree program. And as I mentioned, the courses, the content is exactly the same content that you would see in a JD course in the United States. Everyone who teaches in the program is a full-time faculty member at University of Dayton. Typically, it's either myself or one of my colleagues. This year, Professor Roeder is going to be teaching 3 of the courses, and he's a full-time faculty member here at Dayton. You know, one of our best teachers, I think. I've been working with him for about 8 years, actually, my entire career. He's a good friend of mine. So the courses themselves, we're going to give you a syllabus that will list all of the topics and readings. You won't need to buy any reading material, though. The syllabus itself has hyperlinks to material that's online. And so there's no additional fee or anything like that. I do understand that everyone in the program is busy. Most of our students have full-time employment or full-time obligations. And so I attempt to teach the course so it makes sense and works, even if you can't keep up on the reading on a daily basis. I understand that it's an intensive course. If you want to do more in-depth reading, of course, I can give recommendations. The grade in the course is based solely on a final exam. The exam is a traditional law school exam where it's a combination of essay and multiple choice in the exact same style as the bar exam. I realize that most of the students in this program are in the program because they're planning to take the bar exam. And so I do my best when teaching this course to, and my colleagues as well, to make it practical instruction that will be very helpful and useful for the bar exam. And so when I'm teaching civil procedure, I'm not just teaching the content of civil procedure. I'm also trying to teach you how to answer a multiple choice question on the bar exam on civil procedure, and how to write an essay that will get you a passing grade on civil procedure. We have free resources that you'll have access to when you're in the program. That's Cali, Quimby, and Bloomberg Law are, I think, the best 3. They have outlines that give you basically stuff that's very similar to what a bar review course would give you in terms of an outline to review the substantive legal doctrine. And they have practice questions, multiple choice questions, especially, that you can click through. And it's really great software. It can identify what do you already know and what do you need work on. It's, I think, a great tool that we offer access to. In the courses themselves, at Dayton, in my normal JD courses, I am typically using what we call the Socratic Method. That means that we start the class, I assign reading, we go into the classroom, and I start the class by asking someone about the cases that were assigned. And it is typically just a question and response. That's the entire class. I'm asking questions, the students are responding. We do that in the United States largely because we're trying to teach people how to think like a lawyer, understand the implications of what they're doing, and get comfortable with public speaking, honestly. I do not use that approach in the non-degree program. I know that you already have a first degree in law. I know that this program is really designed more around getting you comfortable with US law rather than teaching you how to think like a lawyer. And so I default more to lecture. Lecture is much more efficient. I'm going to be able to convey the information much more quickly. But sometimes I do like to experiment with, very briefly use the Socratic method to give you a taste of what law school is like in the United States. I want it to be as interactive as possible, but the courses are not taught in exactly the same way as in the US, largely for timing purposes as well. I know there's some cultural differences. The Socratic method is probably not something you're used to, but largely for time purposes, lecture is a much more efficient delivery method. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to give you written material and then read it out loud. I don't do that at all. I'm going to give you PowerPoint slides that have all of the information you need, but I don't think there's going to be that much value from me just reading the PowerPoint slides. And so instead, we're going to work through problems. I'll give you the doctrine. I'll basically just read off the slide for the rules, but then we're going to go in depth in examples, in cases where we're applying the doctrine in the same way that you would need to do on an essay or multiple choice question. And in fact, in the majority of our class sessions, I'm going to give you a practice essay, and I'm always going to have practice multiple choice questions that we'll be working through. And I would be happy to give you individualized feedback on your answers. I'll also give you a model answer. And so again, a big part of these courses, to me, is working on the writing and the skills as well, because that's really important. You can understand all of the doctrine, you can understand all of the rules, and still not do well in the bar exam if you are unable to convey that information. So that's something that we need to work on as well. All right, so that's sort of my basic introduction to the program. I know Jeffrey's going to talk more about it.